Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' was cracking. It's D. About to react to this TroyceTV vid. Someone sent me this to check out. Haven't checked out his videos in a bit, so let's see what he's talking about. This one is called "The Truth About 2025 and What Is Coming." What is ahead? Let's hear his opinion and hear what he has to say. Let's watch.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, my loves. It's Destiny Troyce, and watching TroyceTV. Now, I made one of these videos like 2 years ago, and I basically discussed how 2023 was not going to be a very good year, and honestly, I ended up being right about a lot of things. How AI is a lot more sensationalized, more strikes, more protests, and a whole lot more things that a lot of people aren't considering. But I wanted to get on here and talk about how 2025 is not going to be the best year, and there is going to be a lot of good. Just to come out swinging real quick, did y'all know that Mr. Gates is the biggest farmland owner in America? He literally owns farmland in almost every state in America. He owns farmland on the East Coast, West Coast, and in the South. And a piece of me is wondering, why does the tech guy, the computer guy, the science guy have so much farmland? And he's the biggest private farmland owner, right? Most of the farms are owned by corporations and major companies. He is a private individual who owns these farms. And you wonder, what is he doing with all this farmland? Is he trying to grow his own food? Is he being prepared? Nope. Bill Gates is actually trying to set us all up to eventually start eating super cows.
Malnutrition, if you don't get the right vitamins during pregnancy or in your first several years, you can never catch up. So it's a sad fact you don't get to go back and say, okay, eat your Wheaties, and you get the IQ points and the physical capabilities. Many solutions. So one is to vaccinate the cows in a way that their gut bacteria that emit the methane, you can vaccinate them, and that species of bacteria isn't there. Their stomachs are very special because they can eat grass. It's a 3-stage fermentation process, basically. There's another way you can change what they eat, and you could either put that in their water or their feed. There is a drug to change the microbiome, not a vaccine, but a drug.
It's like, I never thought Bill as the cow expert, but here we are.
Well, I didn't grow up knowing much about cows. So protein is a very important part of a good diet, and foods with proteins tend to be very expensive. So if you can make chickens and cows live longer and be more productive, then that's super beneficial. So the West has taken these cows, these Holsteins, and driven them up so they make 30 liters of milk a day, whereas the normal cows make less than 3 liters a day.
Says it's beneficial, but beneficial to whom? Sounds like it's beneficial to his own pockets. He's talking about how normal cows can make 3 liters, and the cows that he works on are gonna make 30 liters, and I'm over here like, normal cows, 30 liters, putting vaccinations in cows.
And foods with proteins tend to be very expensive. So if you can make chickens and cows live longer and be more productive, then that's super beneficial.
Wow, I wonder what the life expectancy is going to be in the next 20 years for the average human.
So great to have you on. So I'm sure you put a lot of thought into this.
I came across this interview of John Boyd. John Boyd, if y'all don't know, is an activist and a very well-respected farmer from Virginia. He's about 60 years old, and he comes from a long line of farmers since like the early days of America. And essentially, he owns a lot of land, he owns a lot of farmland. And essentially, he went on Fox News to expose the fact that Bill Gates is out here buying a whole bunch of farmland, and people got to be wary of the kind of meat and the food they consume in the upcoming years, because it's going to get a lot worse than y'all expect.
Why do you think Bill Gates is buying up all this land?
Well, one is greed, and running America's family farm is all family land. Basically, we can't buy the land once Bill Gates moves into the area. For example, his data son is right next door here, and since he's located in Boydton, Virginia, land prices have went through the roof, $15,000-$20,000 an acre. What farmer do you know that can pay that kind of money per acre? Off anything that we can grow on the farm? And what he's trying to do now with the food industry is the same thing that they've done with seeds. You know, when they put genetically modified seeds in, and now he wants to do that with beef. But you know, America's farmers are proud farmers, and I'm asking Americans not to support fake meat, but to support farmers out here who grow beef like I do, and poultry and pork. Support America's farmers and not support Bill Gates and this mega theory and mindset that he has.
It's gonna be a video where I just sit on my ass and I just complain and fearmonger and have y'all thinking that the whole world is literally gonna blow up, even though it might. I mean, the whole world is ending regardless, and things are changing. And you might as well know what you should do to adapt rather than be fearmonger about all these conspiracy theories. And a lot of these people who get on the internet and get on TikTok and just spew nonsense without giving you solutions. First things first, 2025 is not going to be very good because, I mean, let's start with the U.S. election. Everybody keeps asking me, what do you think about the U.S. election? Are you surprised that he won? And honestly, my main question is, why aren't you surprised that he won?
Going forward, the future children of illegal aliens will not receive automatic U.S. citizenship. It's things like this that bring millions of people to our country, and they enter our country illegally.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you have millions and millions and millions of undocumented migrants coming into the U.S. and then getting all types of benefits in terms of healthcare, housing, getting thrown in hotels, and they're getting thrown all across the hood. Meanwhile, we got homeless people on the streets that can't even get housing, or people that are literally in danger of losing their apartments or their studios or their cars because things are hard in 2024. I know so many people here living paycheck to paycheck. So many people who look like they're doing okay, but on the inside and behind the scenes are doing horrible. And this isn't just in the States, this is even globally. If y'all didn't know, we had one of the biggest nursing strikes in history in Wales, Australia. So across Australia, many nurses literally walked out on the job. Thousands of them walked out. Damn near 10,000 walked out on the job because they wanted to make it very clear that they're not working unless they get compensated for their time.
In a loud, unmissable plea for help on the doorstep of Parliament.
No one seems to care that these people behind the numbers, but we're humans, and the people we look after are humans, and it's not fair, and we're tired and we've had enough.
We need assistance. We need more people on the ward. I had a patient 5 hours dying, and I couldn't get to him because I was so busy, and it broke me. I'd get to the point I don't want to go in anymore.
A sentiment shared by many in a crowd estimated to be close to 10,000 workers. Workers who defied an order from the Industrial Relations Commission, which last night banned their strike after an application from the state government. This is a major step for nurses and midwives to be taking today. There hasn't been statewide industrial action since July 2013. They are angry, they are desperate, and they are sending the Perrottet government a very clear message.
We need 1 to 3 in ED. I had to work, this is a true story, I had to work a night shift on my own with 38 patients and 1 doctor. So unsafe.
There's a lot of sick people. And there's not enough nurses to look after them.
We have our health staff doing an amazing job.
And now think the planetarians. Stop gaslighting us.
So you see stuff like this and you gotta ask yourself, is 2025 gonna be any better? Then you look at the teacher strikes. A lot of teachers actually went on strike in Boston. Luckily they settled it, but a lot of teachers went on strikes because they weren't really happy with the fact that they weren't getting compensated. Which is weird to me because Boston is one of the most expensive cities in the entire US. And Boston schools are some of the best schools in all of America. Why are they complaining about not having a high enough wage? That's because a lot of these jobs don't want to pay. A lot of people are having to work factory jobs, Amazon jobs, and do Uber Eats and Postmates on the side just to sustain and be afloat because these jobs don't want to pay. There's people that I know who are in crazy, fucked up situations with their roommates because they don't want to have to live on their own and have no support. People are pressured to be in toxic relationships because they don't want to go out of their way to be homeless or go out of their way to have to work 2-3 jobs just to sustain and make a decent living and take care of their kids. We also have things such as the tech strike, where a lot of tech workers got laid off. Remember that whole era where a lot of these tech workers were telling y'all need to get into tech, y'all gotta get into tech, y'all gotta get into tech, y'all gotta get into tech. And then fast forward years later, 3-4 years later, after the pandemic starts to slow down a little bit, these same tech workers disappeared. Whatever happened to them? What happened to these tech workers that was telling y'all, oh, look, we're getting Chick-fil-A and Papa John's and Church's Chicken on our break at Spotify or at the New York Times. You know, us tech people are doing so amazing. Y'all got to get into that. There are people who literally got into tech and they have no passion at all for technology. And now you're seeing these mass layoffs of a lot of these tech people. People don't realize that tech jobs are only lucrative when you network, and tech jobs are only lucrative if you work for a company and you climb that ladder and play the game. It's all politics and it's all networking realistically. You're not going to get an amazing job in tech. A lot of times you could have 4 years, 5 years of experience in tech, but if you don't know anybody, they're probably going to hire the little Asian boy who lives in the Philippines who's willing to do it for cheaper. So that's kind of why I'm not surprised that Trump when the orange man won. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not surprised. Like, people can play games and be like, oh yeah, you know, that sucks that he won and I hate that he won and I can't believe he won. People might have played the game, but y'all gotta remember, social media is not real. People might have played it cool, but behind the scenes, a lot of people voted for him.
Because times are tough. People are out here struggling to literally buy food, buy gas, put food on the table. And you mean to tell me people are going to sit up here and just say, oh, well, you know, we still have to vote a certain way? Hell no. People want different results, new beginnings, new opportunities, and they know they probably couldn't get it with the current party.
I know I'm not the only one who notices that everything is going up except for the wages of these damn jobs, and we finna talk about it. I just hate how older people always talk about, oh, y'all young people don't want to work. Y'all always want stuff handed to y'all. Y'all lazy. Y'all always complaining. Pause. Let me pause you right there. Do y'all not realize that it's so fucking hard living in this generation in today's time compared to how it was in 1950, 1960, 1970, and the 80s and the 90s? It's very hard in 2024. See, back then, y'all rent was $200, $300, $400 a month. Y'all little car note was not that expensive. Grocery back then was not that expensive. You could probably get away with paying $40 for a whole carload of groceries. Nowadays, you can spend over $500, $200 just going to the store, going to Walmart and Publix, getting a few items, and that's it. Like, people, we struggling. I don't think y'all older people really understand how hard it is. I'm 22. How hard it is trying to pay for gas, pay for your car note, pay for your car insurance, working the bare minimum. I'm a teacher with my associate's degree, still getting paid the fucking bare minimum. Might get paid $12, $13, $14, but you got athletes out here kicking the damn ball getting paid fucking millions.
People are overwhelmed with the state of America, with the protesting. People are literally shoplifting and justifying it with the fact that they can barely feed their kids. And Amazon and major corporations are profiting off of it, which leads me to my next point. One of the biggest scams and one of the biggest things that's been going on right now is a lot of people are shoplifting. But not for reasons you would think. They're not shoplifting because they need pads and panties and shit, or diapers and Pampers, or, you know, protein shakes and all that stuff that people usually steal. A lot of people are stealing because they're trying to literally flip a profit on Amazon. So a lot of people are stealing things from all these big chain stores and all these big chain grocery stores, and they're selling it on Amazon for cheaper. So if you're wondering how you're able to get iPhone products, Nike products for so much cheaper on Amazon, a lot of it is because people are literally stealing. So retail theft is actually benefiting Amazon. And this is Amazon's karma, because if y'all didn't know, now Amazon is going through where a lot of workers are trying to strike.
Amazon could see some delays, as thousands of workers take part in the Make Amazon Pay strike. From now until Cyber Monday, workers in more than 20 countries are expected to protest,
cancel that prom,
urging Amazon to increase wages and allow workers to unionize. The group UNI Global Union, which organized the event, issued a statement that reads in part, "We stand united in demanding that Amazon treat its workers fairly, respect fundamental rights, and stop undermining the systems meant to protect us."
And y'all wonder why Amazon just won't pay these people fairly and do right by them. Y'all wonder why this keeps happening. This ain't the first time Amazon's been exposed for treating people unfairly and unfair wages and much more. Amazon literally doesn't even pay people as much for all the slave labor they do. You ever wonder why Elon Musk donated tens of millions of dollars to Trump's campaign? Ever wonder why even Jeff Bezos has made it clear that he definitely supports Trump, but yet people still support Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos? Their political views are their business, and I honestly don't care who you support because honestly, all parties and all politicians globally are just the same tree on a different branch, and the only color they see is green. But what I will say is this, while y'all are striking globally and complaining globally, please keep in mind that y'all are helping train y'all replacements. All this striking is all fun and games for the writers and the Amazon workers and the fast food workers and the nurses. But what y'all don't realize is y'all are helping and integrating with these machines to eventually replace y'all. Amazon is actively using AI, and Donald Trump will make sure that AI is heavily integrated into society because, of course, things are expensive and people don't want to work no more. AI will make it very, very evident why a lot of people aren't able to find jobs as much as they were before.
At Amazon, we have a fun metric called TOT. Every single piece of work you do, every individual task, there's always a scan. You're scanning an item that's being sold, you're scanning a package that you just made, you're scanning an inventory location, there's always scans. If you don't have an excuse that is a good enough excuse, you know, I had to go pray, I had to go to the bathroom, I went to take my break. If you don't have an excuse like that, you start to accumulate time off tasks, which is time you were not directly working, at least as can be recorded by the computer system. You are allocated a specific amount of time for those tasks. If you need to go to the bathroom, you get 8 minutes, including your walk time to go to the bathroom, before that TOT clock starts ticking. If you have a bad day, that can lead to a wreck. People have had days where you just need to go to a bathroom stall, and maybe you need to cry for a bit. You know, you need to hide in the corner somewhere, like where there's not other people, and just like cool down and relax. Many people have had moments like that. I've had moments like that.
And I really hope this resonates with people because people gotta understand, strike all you want, bitch and complain all you want because the rich corporate white man doesn't want to give you an extra pay raise or a promotion. But what you should be doing is utilizing your time wisely and trying to find other ways to make more income or trying to, you know, expand your skill set. And I know a lot of y'all in the medical field ain't laughing because y'all be the first one to say, oh, we ain't going anywhere. Y'all sure about that?
Finally tonight, what started as one nursing home's high-tech solution to staffing shortages has turned into an abundance of joy. Here's CBS's Omar Villafranca.
83-year-old Jill Breckenridge has a new friend at her Minnesota nursing home.
Hi, Pepper.
It's not a person.
It's great to see you.
It's Pepper, a special robot that can talk.
I hope you are having a wonderful day.
And even dance with the residents to keep them active. But Pepper's special power is using new technology to bring up old memories.
Here is your brother holding your puppy.
Jill was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but when Pepper shows her pictures of her past,
And I had red hair.
memories come flooding back.
I loved my horse, Lucky Strike.
Don't need a PhD to see the real benefits of a robot
Oh, thank you, Pepper. I like you too.
with a heart.
And let me just also mention this.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
It's
like-
not going to get any better because I feel like this was all an agenda to begin with. Like, I hate to say it, but I think the Panda Express, I think all that shit was obviously a setup. I think most of us kind of already know that to some degree. Like, even the mask thing still...
Yeah, they were definitely doing experiments to see like what businesses can survive and like, you know, what they can get away with and basically how many employees they truly need. Like, yeah, y'all stay home. Can we operate this without y'all? Okay, we can. Cool. Well, y'all don't need to come back. You know. So that I feel like that definitely was an experiment.
To this day kind of confuses me because remember when a lot of us were fearmongering and felt like we had to wear a mask? Meanwhile, a lot of us were wearing masks that were made out of cloth and tissue and all types of basic shit that a virus can easily penetrate. Isn't that crazy that we all fell for that? I think the whole
I didn't. I kept complaining. Like, this shit is stupid. I feel like I was getting backlash around that time too. I don't remember, but I feel like I was. But I'm like, bro, this shit ain't doing that. It's not protecting nobody from nothing. Like, bro.
The whole scam because first of all, what happens if you go to a grocery store and you touch a knob or you touch a grocery item and then you touch your mask and then you itch your ear and then you touch your nose? Like, you see what I mean here? Like, it just never made any sense to me. And I think that was a plan just to kind of destroy the global economy. Like, now I'm getting a little bit deep. But I think it was a plan just to destroy the global economy so that way everybody can be reliant on AI. I mean, look at Elon Musk. Elon Musk was heavily campaigning for Donald Trump. So you see stuff like this, and this should already kind of give you a heads up of like where 2025 is going to go. And to be honest with you, 2025 is going to look real interesting. It's going to lead to a lot more people getting laid off and a lot more strikes. That's why everybody wants to be an influencer now. People want to jump on OnlyFans. And even the OnlyFans bubble is bursting because now OnlyFans content creators are exposing the dark truth of OnlyFans. And if you don't have a big, massive following, it's just not going to be lucrative for you. If you're a celebrity, that's different. If you're an influencer or you built a good, lucrative brand, that's different. But a lot of you who jumped on the wave of OnlyFans, a lot of people who did jump on the wave of OnlyFans, who aren't entertainers, who don't have a big following, how far do you really think it's going to take you when people realize that they just paid 4 $1 bills to see your vajayjay and then they've already seen it and they don't care anymore? They're like, ooh, her shit look like prunes. I don't want to see that shit anymore. And they literally click off. And the best thing people can do right now is to be ready for all the fake meat to roll out, be ready for all the technology to take over. And while these people are striking, keep in mind that these strikes have been happening for decades. Strikes happen all the time. And while people are striking, some of y'all don't realize that y'all are literally encouraging big corporations to literally build and create your replacement. Now, I'm not gonna lie, what I do for work, I can pretty much do anywhere, you know, in terms of emails, video creation, content creation, and, you know, for those of y'all who work digitally or remotely or have the capability to ask your jobs for work remotely, maybe consider upping and going somewhere else, or maybe try to get a work visa in a different country that will actually give you, you know, parental leave, paid leave, you know, sick leave and all types of stuff. You go to other countries like Italy or Spain, they're giving you like, what, 2 to 3 months of leave, or whatever country in Europe, to, you know, be able to sustain and support yourself. And the healthcare and the medical care is a lot better. You know, I'm currently in Africa right now, and I'm thinking to myself, why would I want to pay like $300,000 or, you know?
That just reminds me, when I was in Tanzania, I had the best curry of my life, but it fucked my stomach up for so long. I was concerned. I was about to go to the doctor after like, I don't know, day 4, 5. I was like, God damn. But it was so good. That was the best curry I've ever had. Oh, it was good. But it wasn't worth those days of suffering. But it looked kind of like this. That's what made me think of it. Because you're not supposed to drink the water in a lot of these African countries, okay? But when they cooking your food, they using the water. Like, you can't avoid it. You gotta eat. And when they cooking, you think they putting bottled water in your shit? They not. They using the tap. So you eat it and then you're fucked. Anyway. But that shit was fire. What happened?
In my case, I live in Los Angeles. $1 million for a fucking box apartment with property tax. And if I don't pay the taxes, then they can technically take it. So it's not really my house. Why don't I just go to Africa or somewhere in South America, you know, pay like, what, $12,000, $18,000 for a big-ass house, actually own it and own the land, and then be in a place where, you know, things are a lot more slower paced. And before people hit me with that, but you're gentrifying all these other places, first of all, bitch, let me tell you something. What about all these influx of people that are coming into the States? Because let me tell you something. Millions of people are still coming into America. Millions of people are still trying to move to Europe. Millions of people are trying to still move to the UK. Millions of people are trying to move to Spain. Like, this is causing an influx of population, a massive amount of, you know, demand for a lot of things like resources, milk, water, housing, gas, and it's making things ridiculously expensive everywhere. This isn't just but you know, you're gentrifying. First of all, listen, if I could literally be appreciated somewhere else and be able to be in a situation where I could relax somewhere else, I'll be happy to take the opportunity. Now, clearly, most of y'all watching this probably have a lot of stuff that are keeping you where you are. So if you live in London or Europe or Canada, or you live in America, you can't just up and leave. You know, you have a lot of obligations or things that keep you there, like a job and family and resources that keep you where you are. The best thing you can honestly do is leverage your experience and try your best to maybe even try to apply for a work visa somewhere else. And if you can't move your family somewhere else, try your best to leverage your card. You know, use your card to make you money. Maybe you can do things like Amazon Shipped, where you can participate in making more money with Amazon Shipped, where you can be an independent contractor and helping with delivering packages, or you can do things like DoorDash or Postmates, or maybe you can find other ways to get paid, like even if it's creating a YouTube channel, or even if it's, you know, pursuing another aspect, like getting a CDL license. That's one thing I always recommend people. If you don't know what to do, join the military or get your CDL license, your truck driving license, and watch how much income you're able to make and how much job security you will have. But you gotta just do what you have to do, because these times are crazy and things aren't getting any better. Don't be scared to switch careers. Don't think you gotta have that same job or that same flow or be that same manager. You can literally change careers whenever you want. As long as you're alive and breathing, you can switch it up and do whatever you want. And honestly, the best thing I can do is tell people this. Here's how you can prepare. A lot of things like ChatGPT, which is becoming more prevalent now, use it and learn it. You can literally take a picture of a food item and say, ChatGPT, I had this at a restaurant recently, I forgot what it was called. Can you tell me what it's called? Upload the picture to the ChatGPT chat, and ChatGPT will literally tell you what it's called, what it's made, what's its origin, and how you can make it yourself.
And before people sit up here and say, oh my God, like, I can't believe this. Well, believe it, bitch. It's biblical. AI is going to take over, so you better get used to it because it's not going anywhere. It's too late. It's already built a lot of momentum. I kid you not, I literally asked ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, help me find apartments for somebody in this particular area that's under the price range of $1,200, and I wanted to have good reviews on Google and Yelp. AI did all the dirty work, all the research, and they literally compiled it in the whole chat for me. I literally said, ChatGPT, do me a favor, let me know what you think about this person's resume. I'm gonna upload it. And they literally told me what should be updated, what should be changed, and what should be removed, and much more. ChatGPT, you better learn it. AI, you better use it. You better utilize all AI software to help with your resume. You better use AI secretaries. You better use AI to help you with your taxes. You better use AI to help you find people that will help you. I promise you it'll work in your favor. I literally got my Nigerian visa on arrival because of ChatGPT. It's insane. You know, I was over here losing my mind trying to figure out how I was going to get into Nigeria. You know, being in America, they talking about you got to go to Washington, D.C., Atlanta, or wherever, do a whole interview, do this, do that. I found a whole service thanks to ChatGPT. I asked ChatGPT, what's another way I can get this visa and go there immediately? They basically sent me a whole link to a whole company that will give me a whole business visa. They literally sent me to a whole website where they said, if you ask this company to literally give you a whole business visa, they will. Just pay them like $50 and they will literally get you a whole business visa and say you're there for business, and they'll sponsor your visa and everything, and you can skip the whole interview process. That's why I say it's very lucrative. Just literally ask it anything and help you with shit, and you'd be surprised how lucrative it can be. It sounds scary because, again, you're literally putting all this trust into a machine, and it's just scanning data that it'll eventually use against you or to help become stronger in the near future, and then eventually it'll come with world domination. But hey, I mean, you might as well use it to get rich while you still can, right?
I'm mentioning these things not to make you think that we should further make this thing go faster, but to further learn how to immerse yourselves. It's getting scary and it's getting fast and it's coming sooner than y'all think. Just like artificial intelligence gonna take over the police jobs. You know how when you live in America and you call the police and they don't even show up? Yeah, I live in Los Angeles, right? And I call the police sometimes, and you know what I'll do? I'll call them, and you know what they'll do? They'll literally say, okay, well, is it a life or death situation? Is anybody hurt? No. Okay, well, are you safe? Yeah. Okay, well, what's going on? Oh, well, this person just did this, that, and the third, and they ran off. And they're like, okay, well, did they break anything? Well, yeah. Okay, well, we'll transfer you over since it's not a dire emergency. And then they'll literally like beat me over, and I'll be like I'll literally be on hold, and I'll hear like fucking background music for like literally like an hour. Like one time I was literally like on the phone for an hour waiting to be connected to somebody. That's horrible. So you know what that means, right? People are gonna get irritated, people are gonna get fed up. So now people have to use artificial intelligence to help. Because guess what? Defund the police, right? Right? Inflation, right? The police don't want to show up to work anymore, right? People hate the police. People can't stand the police. People are mad that they're probably going to get a lot of immunity. Get rid of the police, right? Now they're going to come up with AI software where since there's a lot of police stations that are understaffed, and they're going to use cameras as a way to literally arrest people. So for those y'all that said this before, who went out of your way to go loot and steal shit, they coming for your ass. They're coming for your ass because a lot of y'all don't realize that when you went out of your way to go steal and loot, and there was cameras that probably caught you, keep in mind that you never know if you're going to wake up one day and literally see a fine outside your fucking door that says, hey, we saw you looting, and yeah, we identified your face with some technology that we've been testing out for the past 20 years. I mean, China literally already has their social credit score system where, like, if you walk around China, it can literally analyze your whole profile, your whole face. You know, even if you're at the airport, like, they have cameras everywhere that analyze your face, pull up your profile, where you live, where you're from, and so much more. You know, there's a reason why when you go to the airport now, they want your picture. And that wasn't really always a thing where they wanted to take your picture instantly, or where they had, like, this big-ass screen to, like, snap a quick photo of you, where you had to stand in the middle and it takes a picture of you. That wasn't really always a thing. But now that they're advancing technology, and now that a lot of y'all are booking flights and buying things, but you're not reading the terms and conditions, they can probably do that. How do you know that you didn't agree to terms and conditions where if you go to an airport, you're agreeing to be tested or be used as a lab rat for their, you know, artificial intelligence system where they can identify your whole profile? Try to immerse yourself in it. Invest into stocks like Apple, Tesla, Amazon. Invest in a lot of the apps, you know, that involve, you know, technology and aerospace, you know, even X-Space. Invest into those companies. Anything involving aerospace and technology, invest into it. Anything involving electric cars, invest into it, because people are going to use the fact of climate change and things are unsafe and things are expensive and, oh my God, like, you know, meat is so expensive. So, you know, Bill Gates is making his own meat, so we might as well buy that. You know, if Bill Gates comes out with another meat brand and it's available to invest into, you better invest into it, because you may think, oh my God, like I would never buy fake meat, but I mean, we've already normalized Beyond Meat, and Beyond Meat is not even healthy for you. There's all types of crazy shit in it. You know what I mean? Like you'd be better off going to the Caribbean or going somewhere like deep in Africa where it's organic and they harvest it fresh for you. Like even that's better than the meat that you would eat in Europe or in westernized countries or in countries like America. Look at the fact that everybody's homeschooling their kids now because all these teachers is walking out. Think about it like this: all these teachers is walking out, all these teachers are striking, but guess what won't walk out and guess what won't strike? Robots. If you go into a classroom now, and I'm telling y'all, like a lot of teachers watching this, I'm sure y'all can vouch for me, they're literally making y'all put up shit on the projector screen and the computer screen all the time. They're literally immersing and giving laptops to these kids. There's no engagement with the teachers like that anymore. Depending on the class, there's no engagement like that. So these kids are in class, they got big ass headphones, they're looking at a computer screen, and that's what they're learning on and being incentivized to use. They're literally being incentivized to talk to robots and talk to animations and computers and work data software and all types of crazy shit because these teachers don't want to interact, but these teachers don't have the energy to interact anymore. And then y'all wonder why when you're walking in the airport or you're walking in a grocery store and kids are damn near about to run into you. Like I remember I was walking out in a fucking grocery store and some little girl was glued on her phone and she almost ran into me and I was like, please watch where you're going because she almost ran into me. And that's something that just keeps happening when people just run into you and they don't even realize it because they're so glued to their phones.
That definitely gets on my nerves. Okay, interesting hearing his take on all these things. I mean, just do you know? Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. It's not much you can do, to be honest. So just, do the best that you can and roll with the punches. That's always been, my motto in life. I can't stop nothing from happening. I'ma just, make the best decisions I can make and look out for myself and people around me if I can, when I can. But yeah, you just gotta roll with it. What else you gonna do? Because I've seen this sentiment other places as well, where people are like, oh, 2025 about to be terrible, the world's going to hell, this country is collapsing. It's just like, well, what we gonna do about it? Worrying about it ain't gonna make it, any better. So there's that. That's just my opinion on things. I feel like I say the same thing every time because that's truly my way of thinking and my way of life. And I'm at peace, okay? So that's just me. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this stuff. Let me know what other videos you want to watch and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!